What is going on, everybody? I'm back. I'm back. Did you miss me? Man, it feels like I've been away about 5 months. I've been away like 3 days. I was going to try and get live last night, but my plane got delayed. Didn't get in till enough. And then by the time I got in, it was like 8:30. And I just thought, do you know what? I can't be bothered. Don't hold it against me, though. I did actually put some content out last night. Hopefully you guys got dialed in. But we're back. And I have brought the cryptocurrency bull run with me. Whenever I seem to go away, the markets seem to go crazy. The difference is this time the markets thought I was away for longer. But anyway, Bitcoin topping 121 today. Lots of stuff to break down. Lots of stuff to get into. Hope you guys are all doing well. I'm not going to lie, right? It was absolutely unbelievable, right? Mech it was unbelievable. I had 3 days away with work in like where they like hired Ferrari World, hired this like theme park. Like, just the most insane thing. I rode the, you know, like the big mental, like Ferrari Force One, whatever it's called, 9 times in a row because I'm a lunatic. But I shouldn't have done because I'm 42 years old and it definitely isn't a good idea. But anyway, less about that. It was a wicked 3 days. I did try. It just wasn't feasible to try and put content out. But anyway, we got there in the end. But we are now officially back. The markets have woken up, and yeah, it turns out we were right all along. Turns out the fear did, unfortunately, get those that sold their bags early. Those that didn't, those that stayed dialed in. Shane, welcome in. And equally, those that are in the premium Discord or channel members, well done. This was pretty much on the cards, I think. We've been talking about this out of September into October, looking bullish, and we'll take that all freaking day long. Now, the question we've got to answer is there more to come? Are we actually going to start to see a retest of the new Bitcoin all-time high? Is this kind of just a bit of a fake out? Is this going to be, you know, the craziest October of all? Well, again, we will sort of break that down. Certainly early signs and news that are kind of supporting it, then I think are definitely sort of pointing that way indeed. So let's say hello to a few people. We're going to get into it and it's going to be an epic show. So don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Also, if you're on TikTok as well, tap the screen. Let's get some likes in. Let's get this channel on the move. And yeah, should be epic. So anyway, 37, good to see Craig's here. Tim's here. JFR, what's going on? 37, Moto, Brandon Harris. Tomato Pete in the building. What's going on? I have a Coinbase credit card, pays me in Bitcoin, 3% just made payment crypto. Anyone else off the card? I have a USDC one. Foz, welcome. Andy, how far in 2026 the bull run going? That's the question. Good question. CJ, the DJ. What's going on, pal? Kevin, Batescoin, Florida native son says BTC and ETH cooling off, but XRP still pumping. Whole market looks pretty good. Warren Bennett, what's going on? Yo, brother. Good to see you. JC in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And then welcome to everybody here on TikTok. Sam Batchelor's in the house. Precious14, welcome, welcome. Kalutko. Casey's in the building. Shine dealing. What's up, mate? What's going on, pal? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Reform UK. Croydon in the building. What's going on? Fairgrounds here. VChain price prediction. I will definitely take a look at that in a minute. We're just going to get into the intro stuff. RM's here as well. Welcome in, James, Mr. K, all the gang. Don't forget, do the thing. It gets us moving, gets us supportive, and yeah, keeps us rocking and rolling. So here's the chart of the day. As you can see, we currently are now printing 5.47, and we can officially say September did end bullish. We were right, and everyone else was wrong. I think it's fair to say. We called a bullish September. Now, you could argue and say, well, 2B wasn't that bullish. It was above the average, and it again prints a green September. Therefore, the trend of bearish Septembers are over. To a degree. Anyway, I'm going to go full chop on it. However, the reality is that September was green, and this has then allowed us to move into October. If you take the numbers, by the way, we've pumped about 10% in the course of the last 4 days, which is a pretty substantial number. And I guess when you start to argue, could we do 20%? Could we do 14%? If you think about that, 15% based on where we currently are, actually starts to print and gets in line with some of the predictions I was making, which everyone said I was a lunatic. They were like, there's no way Bitcoin can top out at a brand new all-time high by the end of October. We literally might break an all-time high on Bitcoin in the next 3 days, which again would play out pretty much aligned to exactly what I was talking about. Now, I'm not saying I'm an oracle in any of this. Equally, I'm not saying that I know the ins and outs of everything. However, it is kind of interesting how things can play out when you believe. It's like Peter Pan, isn't it? But anyway, the Q4 numbers also look pretty crazy. Ethereum now up nearly 9%. Also, we see Bitcoin printing about 5.4. So you'd argue both Q4s historically are very, very bullish for us as well. So everything, in my opinion, right now is definitely lining us up for a strong move. There is the Bitcoin chart. What's interesting on this chart, by the way, is next price target. This is where the next one I have is that all-time high line. That is kind of where I'm expecting BTC to push to and definitely start to retest that upper range. I think that's on the cards, and I think it's on the cards pretty soon. We broke out from this support. Even when you start to look at the old Fibonacci's that we were sort of tracking a little bit. We smashed through all of these supports. This was kind of the last little bit here. You can see this resistance line at the 786, 118.7. That's why you saw quite a bit of chop, by the way. But we did break that pretty aggressively. Good evening, 2-Bit and all. What's going on, Griff Nash? Good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Obie Joe's in the building. What's going on, pal? This is Craig. Curtis, what's going on, man? Welcome. Seamus Gallagher says, hey, 2-Bit. What's going on, buddy? US government should shut down more often. Yeah, and I should go on holiday way more often. I mean, technically it's work. I need to stop calling it a holiday. But it is interesting, the government thing. The only thing it's delaying, really, for the crypto market is the fact that we're not going to get these kind of bills passed through in terms of mandating crypto and all the rest of it. But it's fine. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. So this actually, though, is setting up to be very, very strong. And like I said, this is my opinion. The next big test is around 123,400, which would be the key points here and here. Breaking above that is final boss level. It is that break above 124,248, which then puts us into a brand new all-time high for Bitcoin, which I think is coming. Okay, many people are still bearish. Even Dr. Profit, I know we wind him up on this channel, but even he is now starting to retrace just a little bit. He's sort of slightly pivoting. He's got a little eye over the shoulder, but nothing crazy. But yeah, interesting. 2-Bit, thank God you're back. What's going on, Craig? It's always nice to feel welcome. Cheese, good to see you, man, as well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You may find the SEC will push all the ETFs through before the shutdown. The government's already shut down, Craig. It's literally shut down. Shut down 31st September, 1st of October. The last one that happened, the last shutdown was 35 days. Barack Obama actually shut down for 17 days to get Obamacare through. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't necessarily think for us in the market, it's the end of the world. It's not great, though, either way you look at it. It's definitely not great. But again, Swamp, what's going on, buddy? On the macro, look at this. Very bullish here on the RSI MACD indicator. And likewise, here on my, I don't even know, what do we call this? I don't even know what to call this. This indicator here, whatever this indicator is, I can't remember what we call it. It's called the WTLB, which I'm not really sure what it is. But anyway, is he going to tell me what it is? The wave trend, yeah, we'll call it the wave trend indicator, is also bullish as well. So certainly where we get to, very optimistic, nice volume coming in, big move on the EMAs, which again is starting to print further to the upside. We broke through this key level here. In terms of volatility, and once again breaking out. So this is all playing out to be pretty good news, if you ask me. I thought they were still voting on it, and we'll vote. No, it's already shut down. Yeah, it's absolutely shut down. Yeah, I don't get it. How can they shut down the whole government just to pass a bill and lay off loads of people? So they don't shut down the whole government. They've shut down about 700,000 federal workers, people like military, non-essential government workers, basically anyone that is paid by the federal government. That is deemed as a spending bill is essentially now working for free. So that's kind of where you get people just go, well, knackers to it. Interesting. I mean, it's crazy. We would never get it in this country. Like, it just isn't the way that we fund things. But yeah. Yeah, pretty crazy. But anyway, I guess for us, very, very bullish on. They just can't agree a bill. That's the problem you've got. So in this country, really, when they come to the budgets and things, it's just agreed. If you run the country, you agree the budget. It's simple as that. Whereas in the US, they still have the House and the Senate, which I guess is kind of a bit more of a way of making it more democratic. It's not really, though, is it? You just end up like this. So we will never have that in the UK government because basically the governing body, Labour, Conservative, whoever it's going to be, can just decide on it. If they're going to change policy entirely, it has to go through a vote. If they're just going to put their spending bill, then that's how it is. So, yeah, always a bit weird. What's going on, Vern? Good to see you, man. Can you give us a Chili's a shout out after a little boost today? What's going on, Chili's? Just wait there one sec. Sorry. I'm on my own time. My missus gone out, so I was just seeing if it was her coming back in. Anyway, so yeah, so we would kind of never get that in this country. The US gets it as a element of trying to be a bit more democratic, but it's not basically. It's not. But yeah, that's the reality of it. Now, for the crypto market, it doesn't really matter because the crypto market continues on, doesn't really, link too much in traditional finance. If anything, I don't know if you've seen loads of kind of top tier like JP Morgan, Citibank, all of these people are like, oh, maybe we should sort of get into the crypto market. And I think you are seeing this. Equally, you're seeing definite, I like that one. I like that one a lot, Vern. We're definitely seeing more renewed optimism in the market as well. So very bullish where we say altcoins having a great run. Look at this, $4.1 freaking trillion on the overall crypto market. This is super bullish. But the story of the day, the altcoin market, this is everything minus Bitcoin, is looking very, very optimistic. And in fact, the whole wider, broader market is looking good. Bitcoin dominance continuing to... Thanks, Fem. I wonder what that was then. I need to turn the volume off when I'm like live streaming. But anyway, Bitcoin dominance continuing to come down. ETH versus BTC ratio looking pretty good as well. And we want to see this dumperino of stablecoin dominance. This is all good news and deal. Thanks, Fem. So yeah, all of it is playing out pretty good if you ask me. And I think there's lots more to be positive about, and certainly lots more to be way more optimistic about as to where this market's going to go, in my opinion anyway, all right? I am just the person who talks about cryptocurrency on the internet. Matt, you've just come back from Spain. Is it true that Italy, Spain, and France are all down tools for the week? It's certainly not where I was, but yeah, don't forget I was out there. I flew back yesterday, so I didn't really see it, but yeah, certainly not where I was anyway. Can we check the altcoin season chart? Yeah, hit 85, I think, today, which is pretty good news, isn't it? And yeah, looks like it's continuing its momentum to the upside. Altcoin index now at, where are we at? 71. So a little bit of a retracement back. I'm wondering what that's down to. But yeah, 71, just a little bit further into the altcoin season. But yeah, pretty good news. Pretty good news in fairness. So come on, XRP, Fairgrounds bullish. What's going on, Casey? Good to see you, man. Appreciate you being here. Don't forget, everybody, do me a quick favor, tap that screen. Also, if you can, just drop a like on here if you are here on YouTube as well. That would be good news indeed. Okay, so that's kind of where the charts are. I'm not really going to go through too many of the coins. Aerodrome up 10%, looking pretty optimistic here, by the way. Albeit, the only disappointment I would argue with Aerodrome is its APR is at 4.4%. It's a fucking disaster. Anyway, we'll move on. It's fine. Solana looks pretty good. ETH retesting 4,500. Again, look at this bounce, by the way, we got back on Friday. Pretty good news. Any others to call out? Crowcoin back up to 22. Will there be financial? I still way think this is crazily undervalued, by the way. And yeah, we'll see where this one goes. Good news, by the way, anyone who's in Asta, this obviously had a pretty heavy dump down here. Don't know if anyone picked up a bargain at 150, but now starting to move back to the upside as well, which is good news. And then memes having a pretty good rally. Pengu going crazy. Brettcoin having a good time as well. So overall, you know, markets are looking great right now. Markets are looking great if you are in the right coins. That's always going to be the challenge, isn't it? Always going to be the challenge. But anyway, because of the Steel City boys, what's going on, Jay? Holmes, I was Spain. Oh, mate, it was amazing. Honestly, it was like the craziest thing you've ever known in your entire life. They hired Ferrari World out. Like one of the afternoons, we just had Ferrari World. So I went on the like Ferrari ride thing, you know, the thing that like goes down a massive thing, like goes over the top 9 times in a row. Just went on it 9 times in a row because I was like, might as well. Like there was like no one else was going on it. There was no queue. And then the other night, when was I at this? I flew out Sunday. Monday I was in Ferrari World. Tuesday night they hired the theme park out, so it's just in the theme park and it was closed, and we just had it to ourselves. It's like going all the roller coasters at night, like food. It was honestly, it was like the craziest thing you've ever seen in your entire life. So yeah, yeah, it was in Salou. So I was in Salou in Spain. Yeah, pretty crazy, But yeah, I posted on my TikTok, by the way. Go and have a look at it. It was just like no queue. Didn't have to queue for anything. So yeah, it was wild. Absolutely wild. Right, so let's get into a little bit about what's going on. Let's talk a little bit about some cool things. Honestly, Obajo, like never experienced anything like that in my life, where I literally could get off the ride. I mean, they let us through the fence a couple of times because there was no one queuing. So we literally got off it, went through the little fence and got back on it again. And literally within a minute was going back round again. It was like the craziest thing in the world. And yeah, riding roller coasters in the pitch black was also pretty crazy as well. So yeah, all good. Right. So what's going on? People are asking, why is the market pumping? How good is the market going to be? Are we really going to start to see some sort of craziness? And the answer, or the short answer, is kind of yes. That's the reality. Remember what we talked about here. The Bitcoin quarterly review, the Ethereum quarterly returns as well. So today, US Treasury buying back another $2 billion of its own debt. We've talked about this before as to why this is important. But this gets a bit crazier when you double down on this. And I don't know if you guys have seen this, but this is kind of pretty good, pretty crazy news. The US Treasury is now exempting Bitcoin and crypto from a 15% corporate minimum tax. Okay, that's fucking crazy. What? LK, what's going on? Man, LK, love the coin next to your name, by the way. They look fresh against everyone's names. If you don't want to grab a channel membership, by the way, feel free, head on to the description, grab the link. It does give you access to our premium Discord, which obviously will have a full update as I've been traveling for the last couple of days. So I haven't really had a chance to do it, but yeah, we will definitely get into them. Remember, all your alts are bleeding to BTC. That's not strictly speaking true. altcoins are actually outperforming BTC today, or at least 75 of them are anyway. But yeah, at the minute, you'd argue there's a bit of capital flowing into BTC, not as much though that has gone into some altcoins. That's what I said. You got to be in the right coins though. But yeah, look at this. This is kind of big news, in fact. And if anything, probably gives us another reason why the markets are looking like they are. And probably tells me that there is more of this to come. I actually think there is... what's going on, Bits Blaze? I was literally away with work for 3 days. It wasn't even a holiday. I was by myself. Well, I was by myself. I was back with my team and everyone else. But I didn't take the missus or the kids. Shock. It was just me. So, yeah. So, pretty crazy. But yeah, as if they're preparing for something. I think so, Chris Bendix. I think this could be an indication that there is other things afoot when it comes to this, and the fact they continue to buy this back. By the way, as well, this is also pretty interesting when you start to look at some of the treasury yields. Look at this, 0.34. Once again, the 30-year treasury coming down, the 10-year treasury coming down. People are de-risking, or sorry, people are increasing their risk, right? People are prepared to take a little bit more risk. Expectation on Fed cuts are going to be at nearly 100%. They're going to get another one in October. So people are prepared to, take a little bit more risk on, which is what we said about October. October could end up with people taking a little bit more risk, which again plays out pretty favorably indeed. Now, the other thing to think about, and this is kind of where we want to get a little bit deeper into just this whole government shutdown bit and why this is important. We actually had some more jobs revisions coming in today. And a lot of people have sort of said, well, the economy's not great, and actually this shutdown's not good, and yada, yada, yada. When you sort of break it down, it's really difficult to tell whether the economy is good or bad. What you don't generally see is you get these kind of private jobs, big corporate companies. What they don't measure here is companies with 500 or more employees. And that data is actually pretty good at the minute, okay? Which I think is important. So what you've got is US government is the most bullish setup for crypto right now. Let's talk about why. So the fact of the matter is when the US government does shut down, they basically stop producing any economic data, any important indicators that come through. We said this kind of prior to the whole kind of ETF scenario. Jobs reports, CPI, PPI, payroll data all get delayed. Now, we haven't got anything until, I think, like another couple of weeks yet. But basically forcing markets to move based on what they already know. We already know this. Markets are pretty bullish. None of it made sense recently. And I think what you're getting again on the top of this is exchanges taking the opportunity. Binance, for example, buying huge amounts of Ethereum and Bitcoin today, which is pretty interesting. But what does it look like? We know the labor market is cooling down, and we know relatively inflation's kind of all right. So you can kind of afford a bit more risk. You know that the cost of debt is going to come down, as an example, because interest rate is going to come down. During a shutdown, about 500,000 federal workers get temporary furloughed without pay. We talked about that right at the very start. Lower spending equals softer inflation, higher odds of Fed easing, and that is kind of where we want to get to. The fact is, odds of an October rate cut are now essentially 100%. December odds are now 85%. If the shutdown drags on longer, the Fed will even more dovish. They'll have to be, because the reality is they're going to have to pay for some of this stuff. So I think it all is sort of playing XRPZ. What's going on, pal? October should be good. November is a different story. Depends what happens, doesn't it, with this? But I think you've got a very different view of jobs based on kind of some of the stuff we've been seeing recently, which is kind of interesting. So it will all boil down to, I think, CPI data post job cuts. What does that look like? And post the government shutdown, depending on how long the government shutdown does take effect. Over the next 1 or 2 months, this could translate into a powerful move for Bitcoin and alts as liquidity returns and inflation stays in check. If inflation comes down, people are way more likely to take risks. If the government is shut down, you're basically making those decisions on what you think or believe or have known about, as opposed to updated data that could be, I'm not saying misconstrued, but maybe not as accurate as you would have hoped. Yeah, Connor Price in the building. What's going on, buddy? Kursang, good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Don't forget, keep tapping that screen, everybody. Keep locking in those likes, baby. Let's get it's absolutely stunning. Likewise on YouTube, nearly 100 people in here. So give us a quick thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I definitely would recommend doing so. So yeah, so this 2 months of monthly change, we'll keep close to that. That could play out very, very importantly. And every altcoin season in history started in October. Now, let's just call a spade, all right? I'm going to say I would argue that sometimes this data can be way misconstrued, and the fact there's no timelines on there is a little bit difficult to, quantify, should we say. But I think generally speaking, we do see it around this sort of time, hence the name of October. Back in 2021, those who invested just $300 turned it into 153K. Debatable. All right. It depends what coin you got into. But I think the sentiment I wanted to sort of bring from this is, generally speaking, from October, we generally see 3 of the most bullish months of the year. If this was to play out exactly as we've been talking about, which, many people have criticized my theory of 2025 still being a causable. Think about it. We can move another 15 to 20% over the course of this month. That would put us at around $146,000 if we did another 20%. If you said, well, okay, let's do 30%, by the end of the month, 30% gets us to around 156, which I don't think would be crazy for an all-time high prediction. As it is right now, yes, the markets are super, super bullish. This is still, in my opinion, playing out for a 2025 cycle top. Now, I did talk about this in my Bitcoin video update earlier, that 2026 is becoming more and more likely. And there's a couple of things I am looking out for that I think when these change or when they indicate something, I am more likely to flip my position to say, well, okay, 2026 is probably where we end up. At this moment in time, in my opinion, everything is playing out as I expected it to play out. Therefore, I'm sticking to a 2025 cycle top. That may be delayed till December, but I still think 2025 at this moment in time. What price do you see XRP going to this alt season if we get one? I think Super Bowl case, 12 to 15 bucks. You don't even believe that thesis anymore. This is stubbornness. No, I do believe 2025. I am open to a 2026 though. Whereas before I wasn't. Before I was like, absolutely not, never in a million years. 2026 is crazy talk. I am understanding of a 2026 cycle top, right? I understand where that metric sits. At the minute though, everything's playing out as I thought it would do. October being a pretty crazy month that we could then see the top. There's a couple of things I'm looking for that I think then invalidates my theory that 2025 October becomes a invalid position. Therefore, 2026 becomes more likely. Open because we're getting dangerous goes, no. Look, we're still on track. We're still on track. Everyone said to me a week ago, you are fucking crazy if you think you're going to get to an all-time high. Now, think about what we've just done. What have we done so 29th? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, okay? 5 days. We've done an 11% move. 5 days, okay? 5 days. Think about it. So again, I'm not saying 2026 yet. And I would stand by the case, by the way. I think 2026 would be great because I think the market would be way higher, 210,000. I mean, we'll talk about Citi Bank repositioning their potential top for Bitcoin. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I have, yeah, Holmes. It's hilarious. Right. Anyway, continuing on with a bit of data, just to kind of context what we're talking about, which is this. The construction industry deteriorating rapidly. Job openings in construction dropped 115,000, 188. And actually, we saw this in terms of private jobs, 33,000 revision down. December 23, the number of available vacancies in construction plummeted to 65. This aligns to the IMF. Remember, we talked about that, or the IMS, which is the data point that Raoul Powell was discussing. I actually did a full video talking about this. So this could be one of those invalidation points that actually mean that the Fed either needs to cut more aggressively, which could end up being a pivot, could end up being super, super bullish or not. This is kind of where we get to weakening job market, inflation under control. All right, happy days. We're going to be sending it. AVAX prediction for the end of the year, mate. Q4 always looks great. I'd like to see AVAX at 3 figures by the end of the year. I mean, I'd like to see AVAX way, way higher than that. But generally speaking, altcoin season runs a month past Bitcoin. So if I said, well, December 31st, 2025 is where I believe the top of the market's going to be in, then you'd argue January Q1 is probably where maybe altcoins finish off. But worth thinking about. But yeah, definitely one to keep an eye out. Obviously, we'll sort of talk about this a little bit more. And then look, as per CryptoQuant, the market remains firmly, thanks Davo, you legend, in a bull cycle, just moving slower than usual. And this is probably one of those indications where you say, well, maybe the market is just behind. If you remember when we talked about the the supply that I talked about in my video, if you were to go by that, you would say, well, we are a year behind. Therefore, 2026 becomes 2020 in the previous market cycle, and this becomes a 5-year cycle top as opposed to a 4, which would then allow me, under probably quite a lot of scrutiny from you guys, to say, well, 2026 could be the market cycle top. But that's kind of where I get to. Lots of data suggesting we are very much in a big bull market cycle right now. Is altcoin season here yet? Come on, bro. We're at 75. What do you mean? What do you mean? Of course, altcoin season's here. Okay. So that's kind of giving you a bit of a setup of where the market is. We're going to keep an eye on what's going on with BTC. Likewise, Ethereum, I want to keep an eye on tonight. A couple of other little coins as well that we're just watching in terms of what some of these do. I think this could therefore play out. So yeah, keep your eye on this. Okay, right. Let's talk about some news really quickly, and then we're going to get into anything you guys want to talk about, questions, etc., etc., etc. What's your thoughts on Linear? So I did kind of look at that because I know some of you guys were posting it in the Discord. If I'm dead honest, I'm just going to come out and say it. I am probably looking to maybe reposition my Casper position right now. Market's gone crazy. Altcoins have rallied, what, 10% in 3 days. Casper's done 2%. I'm a bit like, am I blindly holding on to that? I don't have a massive position in it, by the way. But am I blindly holding on to that for something maybe under the guise of something else? I don't know. So I am possibly looking to reposition that Casper money. And maybe do something with it. Whether Linear's going to be yet, don't know. Can I buy my private plane yet? Hopefully. Hopefully it's coming soon. Hopefully it's coming soon. Casper, it was something we got into ages ago. Big push for the community. Did very, very well, actually. We all got in really early, made loads of cash on it. But it feels like it's stalled, and I don't see anyone pushing it anymore. I don't even see any YouTube videos about it, really. Now, that could just be my naivety, but, you know, I'm sort of in a world. I mean, what's the price now? It's like 8 cents, I think. Yeah, 8 cents. It's had a decent push from like 7.4, but if you look at this, and this is kind of where I got to a little bit. I looked at it on the, what did I look at on the weekly, and you kind of go, okay, so we topped here, and we've done that ever since. It's a bit like where are we going? We got lower lows. It's on its way down. What's the reversal? And I'm not close enough to really give a shit about the reversal, to be honest. So I don't have the biggest position in it. I don't have the biggest position at all, actually, because you could argue, well, maybe it's reversing now, so maybe actually the bottom was here, maybe maybe the bottom came in here and this is now a reversal. Maybe, I don't know. That's why I'm thinking about it. The Momo arm is in the building. What's good on my Crypto Space UK? But he didn't move. Yeah, and that's the reality where I think I am. That's where my batch in the building. What's going on? Hey, so really quickly, by the way, I had a really weird message, and I don't want to make a big thing about it, but I don't know who it is. I don't know if any of you guys can help me. Their Twitter handle is plays with E. Who is that? Does anyone know who that is? Because they were pretty arsey in some messages towards me, and very, let's say, rude in their accusations about me. And I don't know who it is. And they've like blocked me, so I can't message them. They like sent me like some bullshit message about something. And yeah, basically said, also saying not financial advice does not save anyone from lawsuits. Basically, they questioned that I pumped and dumped the Marbits coin. Yeah, pretty rude. Like, yeah, I'll read it out to you. Tell me, 2-bit, and answer honestly because I already know the answer. Were you or were you not involved in the boogie pump and dump? Time to start being honest about a lot of things. I think you know what I'm talking about. You also pump and dumped your own coin, right? Which I am more than comfortable if anyone wants to bring some receipts. I am way more than comfortable about that because I think pretty much the fact that I didn't even know the coin was pumping and dumping and all the rest of it. And I just put, you couldn't be further from the truth. And if you're going to make accusations, I hope you can back it up. And they basically said, you dump this, you dump this, you dump this. 3 coins you're associated to. I'm not saying financial advice doesn't save you from a lawsuit. Shut up, Holmes. But I don't know who it is. I don't know who it is. I think it's someone that has been on the channel. They're called Plays with E. But yeah, I mean, it's just kind of it's just kind of a bit of naivety, really, isn't it? But, I mean, look, I'm happy for people to come in and go, you've pumped and dumped Marbits. Okay, cool. Show me when I did it. But yeah, I don't know who it is. And they've like blocked me and done all sorts of, just like a little child, really, to be honest. But anyway, don't matter if no one knows who it is. Oops. If no one knows who it is, then fine. Send him to me who won $1,000 on Marbits. There you go. You see? It's good on Sitecoin. I wouldn't stress now, might people become, yeah, it is what it is. I just don't know who it is. That's why it's kind of a bit annoying, but right. Anyway, let's carry on. So big news coming out of the UK, people. Big news coming out of the UK. What will the UK do with the 7.3 billion Bitcoin seizure? The UK seized 7.3 billion in Bitcoin from a Chinese scammer. I mean, how how greedy do you have to be? Like, seriously, that you've already scammed like $1 billion and you're like, oh, let's just get 2 billion, get 2. And you're like, might as well get 4. Fuck it, we've got 4. Let's get 7. You're like, what? Just take $1 billion. Like, why do you need to get 7.3 billion? You complete lunatic. Victims mostly in China pursuing lawsuits to recover lost funds, potentially delaying Britain's control of the BTC for years, all right? Don't give it to the UK. They're just going to sell it. Let's call a spade, right? 100%. If we gave the Treasury and Keir Starmer, then they would 100% dump it, because they've already talked about dumping the coins we've already got. And they haven't yet, but I mean, they absolutely 100%. If they got an extra 7.3 billion, they would definitely dump it. Definitely dump it. So yeah. Obi, you need to work on your timing. Your timing is the worst, by the way. It's literally the worst. Oh dear me. Get out of here, Obi Joe, you massive chopper. Right. Anyway, 3300 XRP is good. I'd say it's better than having none. That's my opinion. That's only 10 grand. That's a decent number. The UK attempted to gain ownership of 7.3 billion Bitcoin fortune, which is seized from a Chinese scammer. The scammer pleaded guilty this week, but the tokens could remain in limbo. So good that they're not in supply. I mean, it's a fair old chunk of change, isn't it? 7.3 billion, but hopefully we don't get it, right? Because we don't want to see them dump it. Now, Citibank, pretty interesting here. They now raised their Bitcoin target to 181K for 2025. That's a pretty big move by the end of the year. Forecast for Ethereum at 5.4, I think, is undervalued. I actually think ETH will be a little bit higher. I think ETH could be around 6.5K, something like that by the end of the year. But yeah, Citibank revised its 2025 price forecast for Bitcoin and Ethereum to 181 and 5.4, respectively, attributing the increase to investor demand. Pretty interesting. Pay rate to reach 7.3 billion to get a personality. Yeah, or a job. Or education. She's working at the Bank of England or something. I can't remember exactly, but anyway. Anyway, are you expecting October, November? But yeah, I think so, MB23. Yeah, I think they'll be good. UK isn't going to dump it, makes moves to align strategy with the US. I mean, that's true. That's true. It's the difference. They were talked about dumping the previous lot, didn't. It's what they do with an extra 7.3 billion. That's the question, isn't it? But anyway, good news, by the way, on the fact that, the fact that Citibank is revisiting this and could be very bullish. So hopefully this will play out. Now, in other news, pretty interesting news actually, Pantera Capital founder Dan Moorhead is now refusing to cooperate in a tax avoidance probe. Dan Moorhead from Pantera Capital, you complete fucking chopper. Pantera Capital with Wintermute, who have been dumping markets with exchanges or pumping markets. Oh, what a fucking surprise. You don't want a bloody and your tax report saying like, what? Anyway, Senator Wyden, the U.S. Senate Finance Committee today published new findings indicating that Pantera Capital's Dan Moorhead, a crypto billionaire based in Puerto Rico, may have improbably avoided more than $100 million in federal taxes through a perpetrated residency scam. Oh, come on. These bloody market makers are a set of choppers, aren't they? Pretty interesting. Anyway, I thought that was a good one. ETFs, obviously pushing the markets. We saw this today. 676 million inflows on Wednesday, $1 billion in 2 days. This is obviously playing out very, very favorable. There's the numbers you're interested in. Look at this. Solid numbers, over $5.03 billion trading in the last 24 hours. And very good news, actually. We're seeing even more increased demand from institutions as they continue to buy like lunatics, which we're all fine for. And then look, the big debate. How high could we actually go? What are experts saying and where are they wading into? Well, look at this. We have an announcement from none other than Timothy Peterson, giving his view, saying nothing other than Bitcoin saw roughly 20% rise between Jan and September, described as the weakest bull run year. Therefore, predicts that October could be milder than previous years. Analysts noted historical data points to a potential for an additional 7 to 31% rise in October, offering a range between 122 and 149. This would probably align pretty much to what we have been discussing, which I think would be good news as well. So, all in all, looks like a pretty good market, if you ask me. Everything seems like it's pretty bullish. All seems on track. The obvious debate is what goes into 2026, if it does indeed. Now, just a really quick note, by the way, and I don't know if you guys saw it. I actually did another video talking about altcoins that are going to make some big gains in October. This is the list. Already, they are printing very, very well. So if you got into any of these coins, you saw that video, you watched it, and you're like, man, 2bit's just a man. I'm going to go out there and buy some Mondo Finance. Enjoy those 3.5% returns already. Good news. If you bought some Asta, enjoy those 8.5% returns. Let's get it, baby. Let's get it. So, yeah, good news if you ask me, all right? We're trying to keep you dialed into the market. Don't forget, if you want all the alpha, hit that subscribe button. Holmes, I disagree. And let me tell you why I disagree. Because we could have picked MYX Finance. Everyone was being super bullish on that. 40% down. Look at that, you see? Look at that. Could have been anything. We could have picked RLUSD. That's 0.02% down. Imagine that. Imagine if I had said, hey, these coins are going to the moon. USD1, RLUSD, DAI stablecoin, Tether Gold, and Pi Network. There it's all about. I mean, Pi Network's still dumping. It's at 26 cents, for Christ's sake. Oh, man. Yeah, I know. I'm going to wind you up. There's no such thing as a month where everything is up. Well, I mean, let's hope that October is. October, what about Christmas? Well, Christmas has always been a little bit of a downer. Zcash. Yeah, I heard Zcash is going crazy, right? Zcash, there, look at this. It's up 13%, as is Athena, by the way. SPX 6900, that was a meme coin call that I did a while back. Aerodrome Finance, look at this. It's the 7th best coin movement for the day. Let's go, baby. Love it. The problem is it's 4% rewards, which is absolutely garbage. But hey, it is what it is. You know what I mean? You can't win them all. Not like Pokemon. Not like Pokemon. But yeah, Zcash 135% a week is insane. Privacy is all like privacy stuff. And again, like Monero will probably start moving to this as well. So yeah, definitely worthwhile keeping an eye out for, by the way, and seeing kind of where we get to. But yeah, I mean, look, we're still very early on, I think, in the overall market. Alt season 67, Fear and Greed 51 still tells us we've got a little bit more mileage to move. Thanks, Ben. Honestly, I look jazzy in these glasses. I'm not gonna lie. Cash up 500%. Nice. Did you get to XCL 2-bit? Yes, I did buy some XCL. I didn't buy the pre-sale though, partly because I wasn't in the country, so I forgot to buy it. And then I think I was on a coach going somewhere, and I was like, "Oh shit! It's basically about to sell out." And so I didn't buy the pre-sale, but I did buy literally 5 minutes after launch. So I am in it. And yeah, it's doing all right at the minute. 1653, 1.57 million. I think I got in at like 11.05 or something. I think like on this dip here, I think I bought. So yeah, I didn't go super crazy. I didn't go super crazy. I think I put like 50 grand in it or something like that. Nothing crazy. Just like 50 G's. I was like, so I've got a bit of change hanging around. Just shook this 50 G's in. But yeah, when it gets close to tax season, expect private coins to boom. Yeah, I agree. Just for the record, by the way, I did not throw 50 grand into this project, right? I don't have 50 grand. I don't have 50 grand in my account. Yeah, Calamari says I did 100k. Calamari's way more bullish than I am. Charles, what's going on? Good to see you, buddy. Pump it up. Let's go. 11,000 likes. Yeah, let's get it. Jake, it was XCL. Oh, thanks, man. I just missed the printer thing. This one. So I actually did this. I actually did a review video on this. And yeah, we were talking about the premium Discord. By the way, if you've got access, become a subscriber here on TikTok or grab a channel membership on YouTube. It's going to cost you about $8 a month. You get any new coins, of which there is a new one about to go in there. By the way, just FYI, Grippy was one of those coins we talked about. Called it 700k market cap. It actually topped 3 million earlier. So again, if anyone did get into that one, congratulations. That one did pretty well as well. A couple of other coins did pretty well. So yeah, $8. Jesse, you ledger, what's going on? You just saved yourself another angry DM on Twitter with that back to yeah. Oh dear me. But yeah, so we'll see how this one plays out. But I think so far so good. All right, so far so good. Yeah, Crow's been doing pretty well as well. So keep your eyes peeled. I mean, Bitcoin's having a little retracement. This is a thing, isn't it? It's like, like what the hell's going on? But yeah, I mean, to break 120 today, I think is a good news story. And if we hold this range, you know, I'm pretty happy with that. Look at the 4-hour chart, by the way. Everything's just starting to go vertical when it comes to this. So all good news. That is the news. That is your Bitcoin and cryptocurrency update. Over to you guys. Anything on your mind? Any coins you want to talk about? Anything at all? I'm all ears. What's going on, Catsin? I'm all ears. Don's in the building as well. So yeah, just let me know. Superfan Calamari's here in the building. What's going on, Calamari? You legend. Yeah, we're at 11, nearly 12,000 likes on TikTok as well, by the way. By the way, if you're on here on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. That'd be greatly appreciated. Don't forget to check out the links in the description. make sure you dial into this market. Typically, the liquidity seems off on XCL. The pre-sale did over 700k. At the beginning of the liquidity was like 200. Do you know if they are adding later? I do not know off the top of my head. I do not know what I don't know what was said. I mean, the age-old thing on liquidity though is it depends on what they're doing with it. And I'm hypothesizing, by the way. I'm hypothesizing, but I think we found with Marbits, you don't want crazy liquidity. So, yeah, I mean, what was the split? I can't remember what they said the split was going to be. But look, if I hear anything, I mean, I feel like Ozam Austin's a little bit closer to the team than I am, if I'm perfectly honest. But yeah, I'll find out. Yeah, all paid for by work homes. I literally paid for like 3 drinks for the whole 4 days I was there. So yeah, all 100% paid for. It's pretty crazy, man. Honestly, pretty crazy. Like, yeah. I don't know if there's any videos that I can show you guys. I have to be careful. I have to be careful that no one knows it's me. But yeah, it's pretty crazy in fairness. Afrium's up 15%, is it? Nice. Nice. But yeah, what I would say is pretty epic. Pretty epic. To go where they were as well, so yeah. We're seeing some wild floods in Valencia. Sounds like yeah, we were in Salou, mate, so we were like, where with a bit. Yeah, it was great, in fairness. Eigencloud up 21%. Nice. Nice. Ton can go to $10. I mean, maybe. I think they need to get everything kind of dialed in and ready to rock and roll. But yeah, certainly. Yeah, certainly could do. Certainly could do. Let me see if I can find. Oh yeah. So okay, let me do this. I think this is gonna work. Yeah. So like, can you see this? So this is kind of where we went. So this is like Ferrari at the back. So this was obviously just we had the whole of this, all where we're stood taking this picture. Ferrari like all paid for, no general public, just us, just the company I work for. Like literally the craziest thing in the world. And yeah, pretty epic if you ask me. I don't know if there's a picture of me on here or not. Oh yeah, there you go. Look, you see, look, here I am with my team. There I am. Look, whoa, too big. So yeah, that was like it was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy, but good news. Anyway, enough about that. More about cryptocurrency. Gotta run. Sorry, fam. Jesse, seen a bit. Not bad for an Asda trolley boy. That is true. That is true. Okay, South Asia about to see today's price action. Yeah, well. Was it a nudist page? No, absolutely not. The debate will be, what are they going to do? What do we think the pre-markets look like? We haven't really tracked these for a while. And, I mean, they've bought aggressively the last few days. We tend to see a kind of dump into the evening and then a real aggressive buy. So, I mean, look, stock markets in Hong Kong, Shenzhen, and the Shanghai all look like they're going to open pretty aggressively. They all look like they're going to open aggressively. So we might see a little cool off into this. We might see a little cool off into market opens over there. And then, yeah, we may see another push, in my opinion. I think they did 850k in a pre-sale, 100k, 100 million in liquidity. Stardog says 140k pull back to 124 blow off top. I don't know what that means, but... My batch, if it's 850k, isn't that actual liquidity before launch? It'll all depend on what they actually, what was the, I can take a look after this, Tim. It depends what they said that it was going to. Did they say 100% of the pre-sale was going to liquidity or not? More pumps are coming soon. Yeah, let's hope so. Yeah, Treble was having a good ride as well. Man, that was like, I saw that pump to like 50 cents or something. Where's it at right now? This actually had a pretty good run as well. Where's it at? It retraced a little bit. Yeah, man, 41 cents. Like this thing's moving. Like I mean, I still have a little bit staked. Nothing crazy, but I still have a little bit staked over there. And yeah, I mean, at 41 cents, starting to move back. It's perp trades, isn't it? That's the thing. People are perps in it. Look, you can trade perps over on Treble. So yeah, kind of see what happens. That pretty good news. I think it'll push up tomorrow. Yeah, Tubit must have got his name on the nudist page. Absolutely not, mate. That is not my style one freaking bit. But still, I'm down for it. Would you sell Zcash or hold? I mean, it's done a big move. The problem, well, here's my view on Zcash, is it's super, super hyped up right now, isn't it? I mean, people are going to be FOMOing this like crazies. We can put this in. Maybe we need to set like a privacy coin one up, but let's just put it under here. The Zcash, I mean, it's seen a big move. The fact that it's kind of blown off the top probably suggests that this is either going to consolidate. It may drop down to 119. Hard to say, really, but my view would be so here's my view, right? And this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you what to do. It's your money. There would be nothing wrong taking some off the table with that. It's a big move, especially if you got in down here somewhere. Let's say you got in at like $40 or something. Like it's done a 3x. You know, take your initial out. Then you're not married to it. And then it's kind of like, well, if it goes up anymore, happy days. If it doesn't, then you've got a position. You come then from a position of strength where you're not panicking if it goes down, because that's where it gets you. Let's say this dumps back down. People sort of go, oh, man, I need to hold on. It's going to pump again. That's how it gets you sometimes. So my view is with a move like that, there's nothing wrong with taking a little bit off the top. Just my opinion. Again, not financial advice. Not telling you to do it. It's your money. But that's sort of where especially like something's done 150% in, in a week, if you got an even lower or sub $40, then, I mean, on the daily, for example, if you're here at 40 or maybe even lower at 35, I mean, look at that move. That move's insane. So, if you were arguing and looking for maybe a retracement point to look for a bounce, 121 probably feels like that's where it would come to. Whether it gets to that point, I don't know. Yeah, it wasn't a vacation. I actually had to go to a conference. So I was at a works conference. And yeah, had to babysit. I had to look after my team. So like nine managers. 9 managers what I took. So yeah. Right, there is some breaking news coming in right now though, which we probably need to see. Breaking news, everybody. Let's head on over and just see what's going on. I don't understand it enough myself. What's that for my batch? So, just in, by the way, President Trump says he's considering $1,000 to $2,000 stimulus checks for all taxpayers using tariff revenue. That'd be pretty crazy, wouldn't it? 2-bit, what is ETHFi? Isn't it just a Ethereum like lending platform or something? Isn't it? Like a staking platform? Yeah, looks like it. ETHFi. It's a stake your assets to maximize. Yeah, so it's an Ethereum staking platform, basically. Basically, stick your Ethereum in and earn some rewards. That's kind of where it is. 3% on your cash back. You get a credit card as well. So yeah, it's basically like a staking pool, but sort of well, maybe something slightly different, but yeah, I thought that's what it was. See, everyone's starting to lock into staking rewards. I mean, man, I've been staking coins for fucking the last like 18 months. Marky Mark, what's going on, pal? Just talking to Tim Share about how liquidity works. All right, okay. I mean, I can look at it right now if you want. XCL. It will all depend on what they said they were going to put in the liquidity. XC. There we go. What did they say? Let's have a look. Dead quick. So they raised $850,000 basically, right? That's what they raised. Read the manifesto. I don't think that tells us anything. Liquidity will be locked forever. So rewards, access, security, buybacks and burns, forks, formula, supply. Pre-sale allows early spots. Okay. What makes sense of the difference? The liquidity. The liquidity will be locked forever or burned, allowing further holders to fully own the liquidity of XCeller. This ensures long-term stability. I mean, I can try and find out. The question will be, what did they say they were going to put in the liquidity? So you'd argue and say, well, it raised 850. They put 2. Well, it's actually less than that. It's less than that. So you half that. You can actually see what they put in. In fact, you can see it here. So you can see what they put in terms of liquidity. They put in. Okay, they put in 200 grand by the looks of it. Yeah, so they put in 200 grand basically. So you could say, what you say, where's the other 600k gone then? Basically is what you say. GRODT, man, we talked about that. GRODT, Grot, is it doing all right now? What's it at now? 4.3. That's definitely retraced, hasn't it? Yeah, thought so. Overhyped TikTok coin, definitely not worth it, in my opinion. People may call me crazy, but I mean, I could be wrong, by the way. They said they were going to do 10 to 20% of the pre-sale, but who knows? Oh, well, if they said that, well, they've done 20% of, well, 25% of the pre-sale, haven't they? In theory. If it was 800k. No. Yeah, 25%. Click on the enter the seller button. What am I looking at? Doesn't look like the liquidity locked either, which they said it would from what I can see. I mean, there's nothing on here I can see. Like I said, I'll ask. I'm conscious I don't want to take the whole show. So sometimes it can be a bit weird in the locks sometimes. I mean, it's an ETH lock, so we can see. The 600k to pay themselves and marketing rewards, I guess. Maybe, yeah, I guess so. So let's do let's go to last. So pool management, handle ops. Yeah, so I mean, I would argue at this minute. I mean, it's difficult because you sort of need to go through it, but it doesn't look like it has a lock on it at this moment in time. That's what I would say. View all transactions last. So the contracts are announced. So this is token created. They renounced the contract at launch, which means that this wasn't built by the team, by the way, just FYI. And then this must be as they started to put the airdrops out. So then you've got transfer. So approve. So these must just be transactions going through. So yeah, I would say at the minute, it doesn't look like it is. But at the same time, by the way, don't forget, once you lock liquidity, there's nothing you can do. So if they wanted to add some more liquidity to it, for example, then you end up having to do another lock on the back of it. I don't think it's the craziest thing in the world. I mean, look, it's what age-old thing in it. You want them to do it. If they say they're going to do it, they should do it. But yeah, it's a little bit like when you renounce a contract. It's like that you can't do anything. So at the minute, when I look at that, it's got 8% pooled, so there's a fair chunk in. So you could argue this is still early in a broadest of sentiment. You could argue this is still probably pretty early, but one time, where have you been? I had to go away for 3 days work because I actually have to do a 9-to-5 job because my social media life, YouTube and TikTok, don't pay for my existence, unfortunately. What's your take on Algorand? Yeah, I like Algorand. Devo lit up TikTok in 2-bits gift gallery. I think they put some new stuff in there. So yeah, shout out to you guys for that. How about Pengu price prediction, please, for Q4? Pengu's been going pretty crazy right now. Had like a 10% move yesterday, didn't it? Broke above 3.1 and has actually broken above the 50 and the 20-day EMA. So actually looks pretty good news, in fairness. Actually looks pretty good news. So starting to move a little bit. Watch out for this. Will it move bigger than some of the OGs? I mean, Pepe broke a 0 again. Happy days. So yeah, Austin had Skywalker go with the contract initially. They just need to do what they say. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and the fact that contract is renounced at launch means they didn't launch the contract. That means that was launched by an audit company. Long time local congrats on 38k subs, has been here since 10k. Let's go! Squirty, what's going on? Man, we're nearly at 40k right now. We're like 100 shy of 40k. So yeah, I think, or 39k. What is it? I think is it 39k? I can't remember. But yeah, what's going on? Welcome in. Appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the love. XCL to $1. Here we go. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. I'm down for it, by the way. I think it's a fake pump before the dip. What, this move on BTC? Feels a little bit better. I actually threw $200 at Pepe this morning for another 20 mil coins. Nice, bro. I like it. I like it. Yeah, I didn't buy any more because I'm a bit like, man, I feel like I'm over positioned in Pepe a little bit. So yeah. Have a look at Punk Strategy Small Cap. Okay, Gold. We'll check it out after the show. See what's going on. What do you think of GMX? Never heard of it. X gonna give it to you. We're gonna give it to you. 161. See, I'm just not a big fan of. It's doing 161 million with 172k in volume. I mean, it's not horrendous. I'm just not into these kind of super crazy big caps. And I would argue the chart looks terrible. Depending on when you got into this, by the way, but it looks awful. Love when people call it the fake pump and the fake dumps with nothing behind it. Just fit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Is Jasmine doing anything? It's up a little bit. I think Jasmine was up a little bit. Nothing super crazy. Still there. Still making it happen. 1.5. Needs to break above this line. I want to see Jasmine back above this line, though. This is kind of where I get confirmation that, you know what? Yeah, Jasmine's starting to move a little bit. So hopefully we get there. I think we do need the market to keep coming with us, though. Again, you can argue now. Just a little bit of a cool off. You know, nothing crazy. I am too, but was cheap, so probably never again. I mean, that's true, in fairness. That's true. Yeah, 38.9k subs, 100 left. Let's go. Hit that subscribe button, everybody. Don't forget to tap the like if you haven't already as well. Would appreciate it. Massively helps out. Equally, give it a little taparino on the screen if you want. TikTok just massively helps out. Circles up 40%. Yeah, I mean, there's loads of companies looking to do IPOs right now. Who was the latest one? Kraken? Kraken looking to do an IPO, I think. So Kraken do IPO. Ripple maybe an IPO. We'll see what that looks like. Could be interesting. Liquidity has been stealthily infused into M2 this time around. Why? Because Trump needs to lower the dollar. I mean, that's true. Word on the street is that you are doing a TikTok after this stream. Are we? I know that I couldn't do the one last night, and we sort of, Vern and I were a bit like, maybe we do one tonight, but I don't think we've agreed on anything. I don't know. I mean, I'm not adverse to it, I guess. I just don't know if it's Vern's home yet or not. Meticulous ecosystem. Have you thought about launching and streaming on Pump? I can't do it. I'm in the UK, so I can't do it. And the honest answer is no. What I would say, though, just for anybody who's interested, and I think this is worthwhile, is just, if you want, take a look at www.wreckedrabbit.com. All right, go and have a look at that coin. I'm not saying anything more than I think I would go and have a look at this coin and just, yeah. Let's keep your eyes peeled on this mother trucker. All right? Go check it out. Go and see what it's about. Give the social to follow. That's what I would say. The Marbits is doing awful, actually. Had some random pump and dump group. But yeah, Marbits is kind of on the back burner at the minute. I would definitely be looking at erectrabbit.com. That could be launching in the next couple of weeks. So I'd definitely be looking at that, by the way. Yeah. Someone just messaged me called Pumpkin Manager. What the hell? Pumpkin Manager. Hey, bro. And then they've just sent me a thing. They're from Belarus. Hi. This is my channel. There we go. There we go. So yeah, I would definitely keep an eye on that one, by the way. But yeah, look at this. President Trump's going bullish. Let's go. I'm down for it. I thought there was something else that just come out while we were chatting as well, but President Trump doing that. Yeah, okay. The taxes. Trump considering taxpayers' dollars. Okay, fine. Stable coins. Okay, yeah, fine. I thought there was something else, but maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah. Breaking news. Not yet. I mean, we've done the breaking news anyway. Toshi, man, I mean, I see loads of people posting about Toshi. I see loads of people talking about it. I mean, what's it up? 7%. I mean, it's kind of moving. $342 million market cap. Like, what the hell? I mean, you would argue it is on a slow grind up. Okay, you got to take that for what it is. It's on a slow grind up. All right, cool. Cool. Look, that may do big things. May do big things. I think it's got a good community that sits behind it. It's got a good narrative, and it's holding pretty well. And I think the fact that you had things like Nitro or Turbo, whatever it was, didn't really work out. Obviously, it's listed on Coinbase, so it's not bad. Yeah, nothing to say. We don't revive the Market channel, but we still need to clear out some dirt from the farm first. Well, I think the whole like move on Marbits was just a pump and dump group. Like they definitely tried to do something in the contract as well. I don't know why, because it flags that it's now got that it's not got a verified contract, which couldn't be further from the truth. Actually, couldn't be further from the truth. It definitely has a verified contract. So I don't know if it was some group trying to manipulate it, trying to do something to it, trying to breach the contract. I don't know. It all feels a bit weird, to be honest. That like they randomly chucked, like 20K's worth of volume through it, and it's ended up sort of back where it started. All a bit weird. I mean, it's still got 5% sell tax on it, so it's like, all right, cool, we'll take your sell tax. But yeah, super weird. Super weird. But it is what it is. Is what it is. Can't really do much about it. I could worry about it, but I'm not. But the fact that this has gone red, and by the way, the easiest way to verify if a contract's verifiable or not is simply come to the actual contract code. And then you can just look at it. And if it's got a green tick on it, then yeah, you're fine. And if it hasn't, then you're not fine. That's kind of where I'm at. That's why I say about cleaning some dirt. I would probably say it was something to do with someone who knows the contract. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I mean, the contracts, what I would say is the contract is absolutely ironclad solid. So yeah, so I'm not stressing it. I'm not stressing it. Gandalf, what's going on? Good to see you, man. Welcome in. What coin would you buy right now? Right this second. If someone was like, "Timmy, what coin would you go and buy?" It's a difficult one because it's like, what do I think is the most undervalued, or what do I think has got the biggest opportunity? I mean, if I'm dead honest, I wouldn't buy anything right now. Like, we just had a big move on the day, but I mean, Ondo still under $1 feels like a pretty good buy. If I'm honest, XLM at 40 cents feels like a pretty solid buy. Will there be finance at 20 cents? Feels pretty good. I mean, they all feel relatively cheap. I mean, you'd argue Jupe. If Jupe turned back and staking rewards on, we'd be fine. But yeah, I think we see a push up for the next few days, mate. Yeah, I think so. I think tonight will be the test. I think tonight will be the test. We'll see what the Asian markets do. What about Psych? What about Psych? What about it, Alvin? Where is it? Base. Here it is. Where are you at right now? 425K market cap. Holy crap, nearly at $500,000, bro. Nearly at $500,000. Still holding up pretty well. Obviously, as those choppers dumperinoed it. And yeah, I know after speaking to you, there's some pretty tasty things coming with the Psych coin. Get ready. Do you have any faith left in Casper? And most importantly, have you told Jay? So he did message me the other day, and he messaged me again today. And I mean, do I have faith in it? Yes. Do I want to risk missing out? And I think there's a difference here to understand. It's not that I don't think Casper will move in the bull market. My view is that, is it going to move as aggressively as some other coins? For example, do I think Will There Be Financial can outperform Casper? That's where I get to a little bit with it. BTC, Bitcoin Solaris. I thought we looked at that. That was moving, wasn't it? I thought we looked at this one. I thought we solved that while I was live. Did we not solve that while I was live? I thought we looked at that one. Oops, 1 second. TikTok's going to tell me I've got to pretend that I'm still here. Whenever it does this, though, I always think it's going to come up and say, you have been banned for being a chopper. Although my ban did get removed, which is kind of nice. Mandatory token Asian market mentioned. Yeah, that's true. Don't be scared of the robots on them. Pepe to break 2 zeros. Let's hope so. Yeah, I thought we'd looked at this. Or had it not launched? Remind me. I can't remember. That's bad. I know that's bad, and I apologize. But I think I've got confused. Thoughts on Fetch AI? I mean, we're still in an investment group. It's still a bit of a non-mover at the minute, if I'm honest. Albeit, has had a slightly better last 24 hours, I think. Did I see it up here somewhere? Did I see it up here somewhere? I thought I did. Maybe I didn't. No, there, look. Yeah, so it was the 65th highest moving coin today. I mean, it's done 8% of the week. Still pretty undervalued at 60 cents. But I think the whole AI thing sort of quietened off a little bit, hasn't it, really? It's sort of quietened off. So, Yeah. Doesn't look good. Okay, let me have a look. Let me see if I can find it. Big news ahead. This week we'll be dropping a lengthy medium article going over it. Mistaken rewards have been refilled. Bet bull run will be beautiful. Plus, yeah, I think the whole AI sector should be pretty good. Stake USDT. So it's live on Radian, right? New farm live on Radian. Oh, here we are. Oh, they're just winners. Okay. Dev hasn't sold for a week. Weird. Dev hasn't sold for a week. Well, that's kind of good, isn't it? Zach Hudson's in the building. What's going on, Zach? Ali will be back. It's only going to continue to become more integral and modern. Yeah, look, I think the whole AI thing is going to be pretty good. That's why I think there's definitely a bit around. There's definitely a little bit around, you know, some of these kind of bigger AI players or integration where you've got AI players as well. I think they're going to be important. So, yeah, I'm not going to lose too much sleep on it right now. It's on L Bank as well, Bitcoin Solaris, by the way. So it's actually on L Bank. I mean, look, I'm not saying that validates any more than anything else, but it's now available on Radion and L Bank. Why is it not on CoinMarketCap then? Am I missing out on something here? Dev was constantly selling on dropping the price, just doesn't inspire trust anyways. I consider it dead. I mean, yeah, if the dev's dumping, that's definitely not good. Definitely not good. Bitcoin, which, I mean, look, you can never plan for that, can you? That's the problem. You can never plan on a dev being shit. That's the honest answer. You can pick holes in contracts and all the rest of it, but a dev just being a complete and utter chopper is almost impossible to plan against, isn't it? GC in the building. What's going on, my man? Good to see you, buddy. Appreciate it. Exactly. I will bounce hard when data centers up and running. Yeah, I mean, the whole Google integration could be pretty good. Now, Cardano, ADA, everyone absolutely roasted me when I talked about this last time. Roasted me, by the way, when I spoke about Cardano. Look at this. When was it? When we were talking about it, like Monday? No, it must have been Friday when it was down at like 76 cents. It's done 15%. Oh man, yeah, I got roasted for saying Cardano was going to do some decent moves. Oh dear. Anyway, let's move on. I have a small bag of Cetus as think base chain would be good this bull run. I thought Cetus was Sui, not base chain. Is it doing both? Maybe it does both, by the way. Thanks for that, guys. We'll come back to Cardano in 6 months. Yeah, I know. When you Corey Stones, when you predict the top of the bull market cycle? I mean, at the minute, the end of this year. I mean, technically, I've said the end of October, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't think we go into 2026 just at the minute. Just at the minute. But yeah. Any news on Jasmine being removed from the Binance monitor zone? I haven't seen anything. We have disowned you 2-bit talking about Cardano. Okay, fine. Nadas to say 2-bit, did you see 00? It spiked up hard. How would people know if this is a legit coin to make a quick profit? I mean, the best way is don't believe anything is a legit coin. If it's a DeFi coin, don't. You just can't treat them like that. You can't treat them like that. Got to treat them exactly what they are. I mean, we're talking about this coin, yeah. Must be a slightly different one. Yeah, kebab flavored Chris. That sounds absolutely wild. But anything DeFi, you got to treat it as a DeFi player, which is basically get in, make some gains, and get out. You know, that's kind of my view. And yeah, all right, you might miss the crazy moves. 1 in a million, you know, are going to absolutely skyrocket and go to the freaking moon. C'est la vie. Do you know what I mean? There'll always be another coin. Potentially, anyway. Potentially. But yeah, the Jasmine thing I haven't looked at. I will definitely take a look. I mean, Matt Perry's still covering a lot of Jasmine. We can take a look at it tomorrow for sure. Holmes says Tibber chart. TIBBIR. This one is down 2%. I mean, the chart looks like Elephant Coin, which was going crazy, and then all of a sudden got absolutely smashed to pieces. I mean, you'd argue that chart looks pretty bullish. What's it doing volume wise? 2 million volume. You're buying in at a pretty high price, though. Wasn't it beef kebab or chicken kebab walkers? I have no idea. I have no idea. But yeah, I mean, that looks like a pretty good chart, if you ask me. That looks like a pretty good chart. It's virtuals on base. Yeah, I mean, you can't argue with that, man. It looks like XCL just got a nice little buy coming in. Yeah, 5Gs, look. Someone just went in big. I'll take a 5G bag, please. Bullish. I'm down for that. I'm down for about another 500 5G bags. Send this to 50 billion. Elephant coin, what a classic. Yeah, I know. I kind of feel like I still have some elephant coin. Maybe I don't. Anyway, everybody, it is now 10:05. That is me. What a stream, man. Flown by. Can't believe we've done an hour and 10 minutes. Holy crap, I went live early as well, didn't I? Hour and 10 minutes in the bag. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. Look out for some content coming soon. We'll be live tomorrow, as always, bringing you the latest and greatest cryptocurrency and everything else. So go ahead, smash the like button one more time and hit that subscribe button. That way you don't miss a beat. And don't forget, you can find me on all my social media platforms. Check out the links in the description if you want to grab that channel membership and get in the Discord. Until tomorrow, though, thank you so much, everybody. I'll catch you on the flip side.